being, oh shoot, no, I'm not. I'm actually right on schedule. All right. So today, hey, what's up, BBA?
Hey, what's up? We're live right now, huh?
We are live.
Oh shit! I gotta put my phone somewhere and do something. Live on YouTube.
What's that?
Live on YouTube.
We are live on YouTube, man. How about that? Uh, Everybody, just want to say thank you for joining in for this special episode. As you can see, I am joined with a special guest, Bone Breaking Action. Huge fan of his channel for the last, what is it, 3 years, 4 years, man? I
Oh
think I actually
wow!
became aware of your channel back in like 2020 because
Yeah.
I know that you were actually one of the first people that ever left a comment on one of my videos, and you've been stable ever since. And it's been amazing. But like your stop motion figure videos, like I feel like I've seen those back in like 2020 because once we moved out of apartments, moved on base, shoot, during your free time, like that's all we did is watch YouTube videos. I mean, I could be over remembering, but anyways,
And
it
now
doesn't
we
look.
got the foul mouth, I can't even talk. We got the foul mouth drunkard and the potty mouth stoner coming together. We need to do the mega power handshake.
God damn, I need to put that on the card. I'm telling you, man, like these cards that we got in today, they're all single cards, but the original idea was that 2-pack, like Remco style, side by side.
Mm.
Now with two LJN size figure, the card was gonna be like yay big, right?
Uh-huh.
So maybe in the future, maybe that's still a possibility. But for the viewers, why you guys tune in today? The first exclusive review of the Series 1 Maniac Riot Wrestling figures. And to be able to share this with Bone Breaking Action, hopefully New Age Revolution is able to join us. If not, I'm pretty sure we'll have a good topic of discussion for today.
Hell yeah! Are you drinking already or what?
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, I still had leftover margarita from what was it, Monday? So I'm
Ah.
just washing this baby off.
Well, you're drinking, so I've been saving this for right now. You're
Hell
drinking, I'm gonna start smoking.
yeah.
We got the
Hey,
banana kush up here in Colorado.
if it wasn't illegal to cross borders, I might go up there just to try some stuff. But at the end of this video, if I feel like I really want to sleep tonight, I might kick back a few shots of Jack Daniels. But
Was that
that's what
Saturday night? Was Saturday night Jack Daniels?
freaking Jack Daniels almost killed me on Saturday.
Yeah, that was Jack Daniels on Saturday. Yeah, that
That
was
was
some dangerous
so.
stuff right there.
I mean, it's an 80 proof bottle. It says 40% per bumps. I mean, it's basically anything that's like 60% or higher, I think is good stuff to buy. But man, that 115 proof, crazy, right? So, oh, Jason Nutt better appreciate this son of a gun. I'm not really hoping he could tune in because I really want all three of us to kind of do this reaction today. But I did wear my Jason shirt just for him.
Oh, is that what that is, or what? I was trying to figure out what that was earlier. Oh, well, yeah, okay.
It's a
I thought
Camp
it was like
Crypto.
actual Jason Nutt shirt.
No.
Well,
I
they're
think
coming.
he does have his own New 80s Revolution line because I've seen him wear those t-shirts. So I mean, I'm pretty sure he probably made a few sales with those babies. All right. Hey, what's up, Ross? Ross saluting me. So guys, a couple days ago, I did get the last batch of figures from Sinbody. And I really wish that BBA had his figure in hand and Jason Up had his figure in hand. That way we can all have like that physical grip to the figure that we can look at. And we're not just going off of pictures and whatnot. But today, I'm really excited about these figures. I'm really excited about this line that I wanted to hurry up and make this video as soon as possible. But I didn't want it just a regular 20, 30-minute review video. I wanted to go live. I wanted to share this with the viewers, get your guys' opinions. is there any interest in this particular line? And should this be something that we should invest in moving forward? So that's kind of like why I want to deal with the viewers and you'll get those opinions. Hope you're both. Hey Ross, I'm doing pretty good, man. And I don't think I'm gonna overdo it today. Not with the margarita, but this is just a tasty drink for me. I decided I was gonna do this video in the next door game room. I didn't like the lighting in there, so I'm like, you know what, forget it. So I had to hurry up and rush 20 million things over to this room. Looks like it. Bionicle Lego. That's, I don't know. Is that funny? I don't know what a Bionicle Lego is, but it sounds entertaining.
I can't see what the comments are, but I know what Bionic Legos are. They're just little Lego robots that are like
Okay.
action figures in a way.
Well, hey, check out BBA. Check out BBA and check out his channel. He mentions a lot of like the sparkle. Like I like that. It kind of reminds me of the Gremlin from the airplane movie. What the heck was it? I'm drawing a blank.
I don't know, but I looked that up. You said that, and I went and looked it up.
Oh man, not like it's something so basic. Like it's like Tales from the Crypt or Tales from the Dark Side.
No, it's the Twilight Zone. It's from the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what it is.
Yeah,
Tales from the
it's
Dark
from the
Side
Twilight
movie
Zone movie.
or something. And that one was with John Lithgow, so that was pretty cool. So I saw that in your videos. I'm like, man, he don't know what he even made. That's pretty awesome. Actually, no, you did bring it up to me. You did ask me if I knew what that was. Top
It
shelf.
sprinkles the fucking mutant sea monkey. I'd like to all this action figure that you started and stuff. It got me thinking, like, man, I want to make the sprinkles action figure. You know what I mean? I
Oh,
looked into making action figures and all that. I want to make some sprinkles products and stuff, but I want to put out a good few stories about him first, and I haven't had the creativity to make another one.
I could see Sprinkles being like a plush animal or something.
Yeah,
Just
and I
crazy
know
enough that I both things enjoy.
I got plans for all that.
Pretty
I got all
badass.
kinds of plans for my channel. Just we'll see what happens. You know,
Of
someone's got
course.
to work for a living, right?
I did, yes. I'm trying to choose which one I want to go off first. You know what? Let's do this one first. Because this one, it was I don't got the card inside, but this was the original figure that we were planning on releasing, which is Jason Nupp. And I'm kind of on my cell phone, guys. So if I got to kind of balance around a little bit here and there, I apologize. I don't have that wide computer screen that I normally do. So this was the general idea of the card backing. So before we get into the figures, I want to talk about the cards themselves. So Bone Breaking Action obviously came up with a lot of ideas, which I was talking about, wanting the wrestling ring basically on the front of the card, right? And the card itself would have been like so. You had figure one, figure two. That was my thinking. And inside the ring, like they were battling. That's why it was the whole grudge match for that particular series. Series one was supposed to have probably 5 or 6 figures. It was supposed to be me versus Jason, and I also had, what was it? It was supposed to be like a me versus you type of line as well. That's where the double look came into play. Because I'm like, you know what? I don't want a soldier me versus Bone Breaking Action. That doesn't mesh well together. I kind of thought about I kind of felt like Sin Bodhi versus the Boogeyman, right? And I'm like, that would be an awesome friggin' 2-pack. So I had to meet you on your standards, meet you on your level when it came to design. And I'm like, I want to do something though that I actually wore in real life. So 2014 came up with the double look because that's my outfit, and I'm like, this would have been perfect. Like I said, I didn't get the 2-packs like originally planned, but these were the original. But these are the card backs that were planned. I don't know if I want to have Jason Nupp on there or if I want to have it read New 80s Revolution but maybe we could have both. Maybe New 80s Revolution kind of like circling the nameplate or something.
Yeah, I
But
think the new '80s revolution would look good.
I mean, his design and overall figure actually came out really solid. So the picture was, he's just not. He's not New Age Revolution, sitting back doing his reviews and whatnot. He's actually a wrestler type, and I think we determined that was like Randy Orton or something. And they
Yeah,
put
but I don't know if it really is. I was looking at it just now trying to figure out who the fuck it is. I don't know if it's Randy Orton or not. I like it though. I like when I first saw that card. I like that. I like the way he did it. It's not just him. It's him like in action like that.
absolutely.
Shirtless.
It's an
We all want
actual.
to see shirtless Jason up.
Oh, man. I was curious to kind of get his opinion, like, how he came up with this particular design. During his, I've been watching his channel for a number of years now, and he always talks about some of his favorite action figures. Tito Santana, which to me is one of the worst action figures ever made, but, to each their own, right? Everybody has their preferences. He also
Dude,
talked about.
I don't want to interrupt you, but that's what we're here for, right? We're just talking, right?
Pretty
I
much.
hate Tito. I hate Tito Santana, man, and I grew up with the LGNs. LGNs was the best thing ever when I was a kid, And I remember I got Tito Santana like for Christmas. And I got him and a few other ones. And like you said, I hated that action figure. It was like light. The pose sucked. And since the LGN Tito was like so bad, I hated Tito the rest of my life. Like when he wrestled and stuff.
It is so funny you say that. I think I've described that similar. Now I want to say hate. Like I used to like Jimmy Snuka, but I had the Jimmy Snuka Hasbro figure, and I despised using that figure. So because of that figure, I didn't like Jimmy Snuka, which it's kind of weird to say it like that, but I mean I didn't really watch Harlem Heat. But I love the Harlem Heat original San Francisco action figures. I love their poses. And I become a fan of them simply based off of their action figures. And a lot of times, even as an adult, that still holds true.
Yeah.
But let's take a look at And one of the most brilliant concepts, you guys know, man, for like the last year and a half ago. No, it was last year. So a friend of ours, he was reached out to by Jason Up, and Jason kind of mentioned this plan to kind of do like a back and forth, threatening type of thing, like boxers do before the matches, trying to intimidate the other, whatnot. And I'm like, dude, go for it, because the one thing YouTubers love is a good feud between you other YouTubers. So like think of like what's going on right now with like this Ethan Klein guy and all these other streamers that are kind of ripping him off, right? Telling their viewers don't watch his channel. Now they're getting sued. And now I'm like, hell yeah. You guys want to be assholes? Get what you get, right? So viewers, they eat that crap up. I eat that crap up. I love watching that stuff. I watch that stuff almost pretty much on a daily basis. And so when our friend, when he brought this up, I'm like, hey man, if he doesn't want to do it, I'll take that on. That sounds like fun. So maybe I didn't have this particular line in mind, but I thought of ever since I started collecting, I really wanted to create my own line. And I'm like, what a brilliant concept. What a brilliant opportunity to kind of like start this little rage bait and basically give notice to both our channels. And heck, here it is. And I think it's fantastic. So again, I didn't want to go off of the, Watty's channel soldier. I wanted to use something different. And that's kind of where that pirate look that came into play. But because they're single cards, they're not dual cards, it kind of takes away from that overall wanting to pick up that box set, I would say. But I think the figure is basically what Jason wanted. He always talks about his favorite action figures, the Tito Santana, the Terry Funk, the Greg Valentine. And so he did go with one of the most popular figures. In my opinion, Greg Valentine is a top 10 LJN. Once upon a time, when I started this channel, I said Greg Valentine was number 5. Now, today, I'd probably drop him to like number 10 or something, but I mean, it's still a perfect figure. And you look at the overall appearance. One thing I did notice is the size differentiation. Now, yes, Greg Valentine is severely taller or a lot taller than most LJNs, but let's see this
All right,
one.
I ain't bad, dude. That's a lot better from because we talked a little bit last night. You mean? And
Yeah.
just now the Valentine, it was awful. Up to Corporal Kirshner, it looks all right. It's totally fine, actually.
So, I mean, Hogan was what, like 6'6", 6'7"?
Yeah,
I think
that's a little small, but I don't know. It works.
so. I actually think that Corporal Kirchner is a little bit smaller because I measured this. I think this one came out to be 7 inches. I think they're all 7 inches.
He
So,
looks great next to Corporal Kirshner.
well, next to Kirchner,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a perfect, like almost.
Yeah. So hell yeah, I like it. That makes me feel better.
So it's just that when you actually compare him to the actual Greg Valentine, but like I said, Greg Valentine, Brutus Beefcake, they hover over the other LJNs. So when you compare these two, you know, he's trying to match up the feet as much as he can.
It looks, yeah. What a crazy difference.
But so play pose, absolute perfection. I mean, this has got to be one of my top 3, top 5 favorite play poses ever. So I love that he came up with this. I think that's fantastic that he went with the Valentine design. Now, me personally, when I initially saw it, I was thinking, well, I know this is your figure. I know that you wanted to come up with a design that makes you happy, but at the same time, I kind of wish he would have added more color, more detail to the figure, because when figures are just trunks and boots or pants and boots, it's a very simple, plain piece. But like you said,
But you know what, man? I'm sorry. I'm gonna interrupt you sometimes. That's what I'm here for,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I like that it's plain and shit like that, dude. I like how the Jason Up came up because Jason Up is just what he is on his YouTube channel, you know? And then with it being plain like that, and with the card looking all bitchin' ass like it does, I said I wasn't gonna cuss, and here I fucking go, all right? His he looks plain, so he looks tough, dude. And on his card, he's just black and plain and serious business. And I like it.
oh yeah, man, this card,
for the major Riot wrestling, yeah,
that's badass.
he ain't being
Like
all
I like that
flashy
a
or
lot.
nothing. He's just there to fucking kick ass in the ring, and that's a good thing. It's like some serious business type stuff with him, you know. I like it. It came out great. It came out great.
It did. I think this is probably the second best in my opinion because of the overall look. And what I really love that he did, what Sin did, is when you look at the glasses, they're obviously molded to the face, right? But it actually looks like it's sort of protruding off the head. So
If
I
I was a kid,
absolutely love that.
if I was a kid playing with these, with what I just said about the card and him, if I was a kid playing with these, that Jason Up would be like kicking ass in my federation fighting these guys because he'd be like,
Yeah.
he's a fighter. He looks like a fighter to me.
It is a good piece. Before I move forward, I'm going to answer some of these questions because so Ross wants to let you know that he likes both of our shirts.
Right on, yeah, Captain Spaulding. Come on.
That's awesome. We're both wearing horror though. That is cool as hell. Oh man. Corey says, being 100% honest here, my friend, you will lose a ton of money if you produce the series of figures. No disrespect meant. Yeah, so, you know, Corey says, based on the type of figures we're going to release, maybe not the best idea. So a lot of the guys, you know, they watch my live streams. They know about going off YouTubers instead of live wrestling. So the one thing, Corey, that I would say, the first idea was kind of use like Alibaba or maybe, you know, I talked to Sean yesterday. He is the owner of Kayfabe Heroes. And I even spoke to Ahmad at Latuni. So I basically have a general price in mind of what it's going to cost for the molds, for the manufacturing, for the cards, and all that. I don't think I would be financially able to cover it without assistance. And so the next step is Random Treasures, right? Random Treasures and Jason, they already have a relationship. I think if Random Treasures releases a Jason figure, I think his 20 or 25 pieces that they could get from that one mold, I think that would sell out within a couple of days or so. So that's why I wanted Jason to be my first release, because I think he has the most popularity, and I like the figure. I do. I think they did a good job. But I kind of feel like you got to release Jason, and the foul mouth drunkard at the same time. But I can't use the soldiers as a foul mouth drunkard. I can't use the devil. That's why I kind of thought about that one picture. I don't know if you ever seen it with the pirate, but I might want to use Dwayne Bum Shadow Wrestling as maybe that pirate look, because he's got a perfect look as well. He's got that bone breaking action or that Sin Bodhi type look to him. So I'm loving that idea. That way you're not continuously coming out with too many of me. So Corey, that is I may not even mass produce the way I wanted, with the fitted bubble, with the hard card back and designs that I want, with the respective figures. I might have to go through Ram Treasures. So let me move on a little bit more. Santa. Hey, Crypto. Hey, what's going on, bud? All right, Sammy says, Matt, here you are. Been texting you for weeks. Get back to me. We need to figure out the 400 I lent you.
That's some funny shit right there.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is, but I mean, it's funny though. Hey, Sammy, is
Yeah,
this your
someone
first
just
time?
fuck around, right?
Yeah. Oh man. So I'm just reading through Ross's comments. Hey, pup. So King Slice Gaming is on. That Terrific 2 on the background. Man, that is awesome. I love I love Terrifier movies. And the first time I ever seen the Terrifier was, what was it, All Hallows Eve, I think. And he played a small role towards the end, but Art the Clown, man, that's gotta be like one of my favorite characters. One of my favorite superhero. I call them superheroes because I grew up with horror, man. Like I didn't really watch anything else growing up. So like that's why I'm very what's the word I used before? Oh man, why do I always like struggle with these words? I'm supposed to have a high vocabulary, but like thinking and things up, like no, I lost all of that.
I thought Terrifier 1 was totally amazing. And then I saw those Halloweens or whatever it was, with his little origins or whatever. That's not part of the Terrifier movies. You just
Yeah.
said it.
Oh, the
I don't know
all
about
Hallows
those.
Eve. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched them, but I didn't really pay much attention. But yeah, I thought 1 was amazing, and I thought 2 was pretty good. And then part 3, I didn't even watch it. It seemed like they were trying to be gory for the sake of being gory, you know? And I saw a bunch of clips before I saw it, and then I started watching it. And when she's stabbing herself with the glass, you know what I'm talking about? I quit watching it. At that point, I was just like, yeah, this is just too much.
Oh man, when he basically hangs a girl upside down and slits her down the middle, I'm like, dude, that's just
Uh,
like they're really trying their best to be like Hostel or Saw, but I mean, it's not real, right? So you're not so squeamish about it. You kind of
uh,
enjoy it for
yeah.
entertainment
No,
purposes.
I thought that part 1 was awesome.
um, so I don't know as far as Jason. I mean, I don't know if we're still going to talk about this particular piece, but a couple things. Obviously, his beard needs to be completely filled in on the cheeks, right? Uh, Mustache, I feel like needs to be thicker, wider, and the glasses I think are okay, but we don't ever see Jason up in gray glasses. We see him in black glasses, right? So that would obviously be something that would have to be improved. Me personally, if I was just saying F it, we're putting Jason Nupp in rainbow colored glasses.
He would look good with one elbow pad on.
I think he would kill me if I put rainbow glasses on him, or
Yeah, so
or purple glasses with like gray glitter or something.
I had this in my head. This is a little joke and shit, but I was thinking earlier, these get big and you want to do all these variants. Eventually, you're gonna have to make us change races and swap genders and stuff, and have a little woke variant. But this shit all blows up, and we're
Yeah.
out of ideals. We'll do the woke variant. When these figures get huge and Marvel comes calling, we'll have to do it.
I could go for that. I would be willing to sacrifice a little bit for the sake of a movie deal. All right. John Glass says you can make a pregnant belly add. Who's add-on? ADDON add-on. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is either.
But let's move on to what I think.
We already got a pregnant belly coming up. It's me.
And in my opinion, the best figure from the line so far, the bone breaking action release. You know, card backs are all going to be the same, right? And I'm going to try and take this out without taking off the back part. So, bone breaking action. Of course, if you watch his channel, the whole ice cream truck and all that, it all makes sense. And I think I'm gonna have to like tape the sides to keep them in place. But card for bone breaking action. Now the figure. I like it. I think it is insanely good. Now there are a couple aspects of the figure I probably would adjust, but I mean not by much. So I like to think of this particular pose maybe like one man gang a little bit. So like if you were to compare the two figures, you can see the dip. But shoot, one man gang was like 6'10", so he
I
was
mean, it's
already
not that bad. Do you still have Jason up out or what?
yeah.
Put him up to Bone Breaker and keep that one man gang in there too. I'd like to see all three of them together, but all right. So now let's throw one man gang in the mix.
So we put one man gang. Let's say.
I know I'm asking a lot. Yeah, so these sizes aren't bad, man. Because these sizes are better than I thought. What's up?
They're about 7 inches. Or you know what? I think I only measured my soldier figure. I think that one came out to be 7 inches, almost like identical 7 inches. Not even a tick above. But I mean, I feel like these other figures are bigger than the soldier version.
They're mixed. They're mixing in so far.
I think so.
I'll kick one man gang's ass. No, I like one man gang.
So when we look at the original picture, the original design, I think down here you're supposed to have like the tassels that you're wearing around your neck right now, and that part of
They're
the
not
figure.
on the neck. That's the thing. See, they're part of the mask. You know.
Yeah,
it's like look how they're part of the mask, and then see how this is a mask, a wrestling mask. You know.
Yeah,
so,
and they're kind of dangling on the t-shirt or connected to the t-shirt. But one of my favorite parts about this whole line so far, this right here, it's like it actually pops up off the shirt. So it says BBA, bone breaking action, where wrestling is real. And it's like reading Braille. You can sit there, rub your finger across it. You can feel the lift in the writing. I love that. It's not just painted onto the t-shirt. So I think of all the figures, that's got to be my most favorite aspect. Head sculpt looks really solid. The only downside, as I've been talking about with these particular pieces, obviously these are prototypes, but when I did this review, I wanted all my prototypes to be basically what the customer was going to get. So they were all supposed to be rubber, and when I got them in, they're rock solid. So every piece, they're all hard as rock. They're all resin. But the idea is that these are going to be rubber, just like your LJNs. You know, there's absolutely no bending in the legs. You can't move the hands or anything. So when you basically get these figures, you want that right there. You want to see the ability for these pieces to move around, and that's the biggest downside right now is the fact that they're all resin. But for the viewers, the BBA mask, man, like I said, this is a killer piece. I think people will buy Jason's figure because he's very well known in the community and whatnot. I think if that goes to Realm Treasures, especially, I don't think she'll have any issues selling that piece. The bone breaking action, I think, is, in my opinion, the best from the series, and because it's such an amazing look, I think yes, a lot of your viewers would buy them, but I think just fans of XOX Customs, just because they put out another figure, I think they would go for this in a heartbeat.
That's a damn handsome man right there.
So, what are your thoughts on like the forearm? I mean, would you like that to be bigger, or you think the overall
It's
depth is
good.
fine? It's fine.
It's good.
Cool. So, is there anything particular that you like about the figure, or anything that you would add to it, stuff like that?
It's
Just
good. I don't. I that the friends needs to connect in the back.
hmm
I wouldn't mind if the goatee was a little bit thinner, but yeah, it's all good.
cool. So, bone breaking action is the second, or is going to be the second release when the time comes. Um, got some more comments down here. Let me just shoot across and respond real quick. Hey, Will, what's up, buddy? I learned today that One Man Gang had a run during the Attitude Generation. I didn't remember, but I seen a match for the mid-late 90s today.
So hey, I just watched that this morning. I watched a dark match of One Man Gang against some jobber, and it was on Raw and all that. So I know exactly what he's talking about. So that's just funny that I watched that this morning myself.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. I mean, I could have think, man. Like when you see Akeem or One Man Gang back in the day, I mean, he really was a giant. Like he's got to be up to like giant haystacks, big fellas. I mean, he had to be pushing
Dude,
good 500 plus pounds.
I like him
And
because he's a giant like that, and he's the One Man Gang. Like when you think about the name, that's how bad this motherfucker is that he's a gang all by himself. He's the One Man Gang.
that is a perfect title. Like I don't think you could come up with a name better than that. And it fits in beautifully. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I grew up with Akeem more than anything, so I'm very familiar with that character. But getting into LJNs, finding One Man Gang, I'm like, that name is fun. And it's funny. Like every time when I first started collecting, I used to buy from this guy Eric all my custom figures, and he used to always put in his messages or email whatever, OMG, and I'm like, what's oh my god? Like the entire time, like all I could think is what's oh my god, like in the messages, and it took me a long time to realize he was saying One Man Gang. So I'm like, dude, you're stupid as hell.
Thanks, come on. Butter. Look, I saw someone in the comments say that Butters needs to be made like CM Punk and his dog. Come on.
Dude,
That'd be awesome.
that
That'd
is
get
a
a kid's
great
ass.
idea.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to have a fucking LGN Butters fucking it would just look good. And then no, I'm not being that serious, but you know how Zombie Sailors did with CM Punk. You got the dog on pre-order. You got Larry on
Yeah.
pre-order. So yeah, how it'd be awesome one day if Bone Breaker and Butters was the pre-order.
You see, that's another reason why I really love doing the live streaming, because getting this immediate feedback from folks. So I think that is pretty spectacular. I would probably like to see some of these figures with soft goods, maybe like instead of having Jason just be a plain figure, maybe do something like Remco, add like a jacket or something that could be removed, or a vest.
Make him like his goddamn. I think he's a psychiatrist. He's all professional. He's a psychiatrist, stock goods, and then you take that off and he's ready to fucking wrestle.
That would be, the psychiatrist would be an awesome gimmick, I think. I mean,
That is an awesome gimmick. Never thought about that. That's a great gimmick.
So, I mean, you've already had the dentist and the dumpster guy, and you and you had a tax guy and everything. So I was like, hey, why not?
Oh yeah.
Why
That's
is it
what
that
it's all
nobody?
about.
I I don't know if it's just me, but I kind of feel like nobody really appreciates IRS as a gimmick. But as a kid, I loved that. Today, I still think he was a great character, but
Uh,
it's one of those things that people always make fun of because IRS. I don't know.
I like him
uh,
and I like him and Teddy Biasi together.
yeah, as a tag team. Well, at that point, DiBiase really needed it because he was injured, and basically Rotunda was just in there to soak up all the hard work, essentially. Yeah, these cards came out, so I gotta try and keep it together. Here is
Hey,
figure number 3.
so before you put it down, I was gonna tell you, pull it back a little bit. Because the other cards look huge. This one don't look as huge.
Which
Are
one?
those packages way bigger than an LGN package? Or about the same or what?
No, this is huge. I mean, the
Yeah,
bubble
it looks
starts.
huge.
It starts here, so uh, Greg
How
Valentine.
big is it compared to any fucking other in package action figure? All right, here we go.
So this Greg Valentine has his feet on the bottom, and there's still
Oh
that
yeah,
much
look at
space.
that. That's crazy.
So, so one of the things I was thinking about with these particular figures, because I knew the kind of bubble that was coming, I was thinking maybe like punch like 2 holes through the side, right? Put the
Yeah,
figure on,
exactly.
maybe run. You said what do you call it, bread ties or something around it?
Yeah, zip ties, any fucking thing.
Basically just keep in the figure to the card, and if somebody wants to take it off card, they can cut it off, be good to go. But because
Yeah, and then when you're trying to resell it, well, no, you motherfuckers opened it. Fucking yeah. I've been wanting to ask you all kinds. If this was a line that was actually out there and all that, you don't want the fronts. You want the fronts the same, don't you? You want a more unity front with everybody. Like, see how right now all of our fronts are different.
yeah.
You're
Well,
against that, right?
well, the original idea was to have the back of the card with the ring. I want the let me
Yeah.
grab it. So like this ring part, I wanted to be in the front of the card, like this down here, showing you the release of the newest figures. Yeah, this I would
Uh,
love on the back of the card, just the same as LJN, and maybe have like this at the top and like this part here in like the middle or bottom section. But the ring itself, I would have probably liked to be on here,
yeah.
but because this is the back of the card, I'm okay with these overall designs because it just basically gives you a new cartoon look for each new character. So I'm not against it. I like the idea. I mean,
It's different. And maybe you need to throw some things on there so it's uniform, but I totally like that it's everyone's different personalities, you know?
yeah, absolutely. And I think the devil might be the devil and the soldier. I think are my favorite because picture wise, but when it comes to figure, I think BBA had the best figure. Best playable obviously goes to Jason Up because I mean Greg Valentine is one of the top 3, like I said, top 3, top 5 best poses. But this one means a lot to me, and it is the devil me. So why did I particularly choose to have a devil caricature for my figure? I said I wanted to create figures that mimic real life. That was something you wore or did in life, right? And yes, in 2014, I had just got back from Afghanistan. Had been working over there for about 3.5 years. But in 2014, they're having the drawdown, right? All these contractors lost their job. It sucked. So I had to come home, get a stateside job, and that sucked like hell. I was so used to being on deployment. So readjusting to home life, to being back in the States, such a weird feeling. But in 2014, my wife had purchased some tickets in Austin, Texas for a death dinner or a murder mystery dinner. And for Halloween, she went as like an angel, and I went as the devil. So this look actually makes a lot of sense. But the pose itself, the I wanted an SD Jones and a Greg Valentine, but I decided I wanted Greg Valentine to be a little bit different, right? So I wanted his left hand on the right side. So his right hand should have been up like so. And then, of course, on the left side, you would have the SD Jones choke slam. So that is the basic general idea of this particular design, right? Problem is the arms, and I get it, I got tiny arms, but I would like if the arms weren't as small and they were actually, thick, like an actual LJN. And even if we look at it as SD Jones, because SD Jones has, the right arm out, this figure, his arm is like a little bit different. So I don't think that's even Greg Valentine. I think that's just SD Jones right there. So Sin did come out with 2 prototypes, and I guess this one fit better inside the bubble. That's why we had to switch it to this version. But if I was going without bubble, I probably would have gone with the very first design he came up with because the right arm was a lot higher. But it may not be the most playable figure, but aesthetically, I mean, color depiction is fantastic. The overall creases in the pants and in the jacket, I think is absolutely amazing. The devil horns, I would have probably liked if they kind of stuck out like so, but they're kind of like smushed to the side. And I have to go back and look at the picture because it is possible that's exactly what my horns look like after a while. But yeah,
The little Paul's is like ready to spring into action. He's like a little wiry motherfucker ready to spring into action. And since his post came out like that, if you do more in the future and stuff, he'll have like a pose that is like unique and stuff. You know what I mean? And it fits the character. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. And you know
And
what?
before I forget, man, because I just had a brilliant idea. You know what you should do on the back of those cards is you should do a little bio, like the GI Joe file cards and stuff. And
Yeah.
you put the name, the weight, where they're from, maybe their finisher, and then some bullshit about them.
That's exactly what's missing from the cards is the actual biography or bio of the characters. And if I don't go through like Alibaba or maybe through Sean's company or Ahmad's company or something or another company that I could get these figures made, the best option is through Round Treasures, right? And that means no bubbles, no card backs. But if anybody out there knows anybody that can special create actual cards, LJN stuff, because like I said, they're just pieces of paper. So
All right, man. I don't know, man. I'll brainstorm with you later on too, and we'll figure that shit out.
heck
I just got
yeah.
a good idea about that now. I should write down. Well, I'll talk to you later, and I'll just be, oh, I smoke all kinds of weed, and I don't remember.
All right. So the Watty Devil is figure number 3. Yeah, I mean, looking through like everything, all the creases are in the right spot. I love the way that the purple shirt. So the shirt that I wore was more like a reddish purple, and this is just straight purple, I think. But I have no complaints. What I was also thinking is take that original Sin Bodhi design where the right arm was higher up, and make that a variant to this one, right? Instead of black pants and jacket with a red or purple shirt, make this all red on the outside and make the shirt black. So that would be the variant. So not only would it be a color scheme, but because his arm would go from this down here to like this up here, it would basically make it a whole new figure altogether.
It'd be cool with an accessory like a martini glass or a fucking barbed wire pool stick or something.
Yeah, see here, the head look like they actually come out pretty even. I think Jason might be a slightly taller in this.
Last night, man, when we talked, I was disappointed in the sizes. Seeing them, the sizes are fine.
I mean, they definitely work. I was thinking like, see, like even SD Jones though, like you see a significant difference in size. So basically, his head comes up to there. If you're putting him up against Greg Valentine, try and slide the feet in. I mean, it'll definitely work with any LJN line, big rubber guys, LJN originals. So they work. It fits. But like I said, I'm a big play pose guy, and the play pose is not there, but the design, the look is there. I'm loving that aspect, and I love the fact that it really looks like me. So the sculpt is pristine. Did he give me the? Now it looks like he filled my mustache all the way in, and I don't know if my mustache is growing nowadays, but like my entire life, hair would not grow right here. So I'd have like this French mustache where there's no hair, and then they got the hair on the sides here. But I think this one's filled all the way. But hey, they even got the little Billy Goat beard looking good. So yeah, the face sculpt is amazing. I just want these figures to be. I feel like they're too small, too thin. I would love if they were a little bit thicker, wider, especially around the legs and everything. More LJN, like I'm saying. You see how thick the legs are in comparison. So that aspect, I would obviously change, but overall, I mean, I'm loving the design and detail that went into it. Before we look at our last figure, I wanted to reintroduce anyone who is tuning in for the first time that may not have seen this figure previously, and that was the Watty Soldier. Now, I've always said the overall look on this was perfectly fine. The ACU, the Army Combat Uniform color scheme, was supposed to be sort of a blue digital pattern, and I don't know, it's got like a weird whitish blue mixed with sort of green. So the paint applications, the pattern is obviously far different. But if you actually seen the ACU uniform, I mean, that thing is like crazy hard to duplicate. And I also would have wanted my nameplate, the U.S. Army, the American flag, and the unit patch to obviously be much larger and be legible. We could actually make out all the details. But this was, my first individual figure. And this is basically the one that really said to me, you know what? I want to start this line because I feel like that piece is too good. All right, so we do have our first variant, which is Watty in DCU Desert Camouflage Uniform. All right, so yeah, I mean, I love the soldier aspects. On this might be my favorite card. I like this design. I mean, he
Yeah,
really
it's
looks
like
like old GI Joe badass.
some art right there.
Yeah, I mean, even the bullets kind of falling from the chain. What is that? I don't recognize that rifle. Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's not
What's
a
the
240.
circle? What's the circle say?
What does it what say? Oh, the
The green
circle.
circle. Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
says Patriot Matt Watson.
What does the devil one say?
Devilish Matt Watson.
All right.
All right, and variant number 2. So, in comparison, I do obviously love the DCU much better than the ACU, but I think I spent more time obviously wearing the ACUs. I think this came into play around 2008 or so. My second deployment, I never even touched my ACUs most of the time. I pretty much just wore DCUs because I knew that in probably early no, my first deployment, I'm sorry. We had ACUs during the first deployment in 05, 06, but I always wore my DC uniform because I knew eventually ACUs were going to come into play, and I didn't want to ruin them overseas. Which is funny though, because you always get a uniform or a clothing. You get some kind of clothing pay every year. Like I think it's like $300 a year to buy new uniforms, PTs, etc. Road guard belts or road guard vest, the works. So you get that clothing allowance, and you really didn't have to conserve your other uniforms, but I always did. And even when I got back to Fort Hood after we arrived home in 06, at the end of 06, Like I was still walking around with BDUs on because I didn't want to change it out. They were still authorized until like 2008, like I said, but no, yeah, I got it backwards. They were still authorized until 2008, but after a while, I'm like, you know what? I'm literally the only one in the BDU, the woodland camouflage, right? So after a while, I stopped wearing battle dress uniforms, switched to the ACUs. Uh, enough backstory. Damn. This figure I do like a whole lot more because one, I think the paint application a lot better. It's much more comparable to the actual Army DCU. I mean, it's still not perfect. I mean, there's still a lot. When you look at the actual DCUs, this looks more like probably early '90s Desert Storm or something, or maybe even previous to that. But color is beautiful. The pattern is gorgeous. You have the American flag that's colored in and really stands out. Uh, he even added the combat patch underneath it. Now, technically, on the right arm, once you deploy, the U.S. flag drops from the top of the shoulder to the bottom, and right above it, you put the unit patch that you deployed with. So that's backwards right there. But I mean, right now it's just prototype, so I'm not being too picky. And of course, the unit patch here. Um, I'm trying to see if he mixed up the unit patches because I could use the Fourth Infantry Division patch, or I could have used the 589th Battalion unit patch on the right side. But play pose, I mean, there's two obvious obvious comparisons, right? When you look at the legs, very thin in comparison to that of a Corporal Kirchner. But from the waist down, you basically could have just cut a Corporal Kirchner in half and used the bottom half of the body. That would have been perfectly fine. And he's got the battle dress uniform, BDU uniform, right? So there might be a third variant where I'm in basically this color scheme. Arm positioning. Arm positioning. It was supposed to be that comparable to Hulk Hogan. I think Hulk Hogan has one of the greatest fighting poses ever, regardless of action figure you're looking at. And that is exactly what I wanted from this particular piece. I think we were kind of torn. Either make it completely Hulk Hogan, or maybe the right arm would have been Hulk Hogan, and you would have taken like a Corporal Kirchner right hand and put it on the left side, or something like that. So that's some of the discussions that we had. When a time comes, basically this is the color scheme I want to get out there because this is the more synonymous one. But if I were going off of these, yeah, 1,000,000%. I love this one a whole lot more.
That
Love,
paint job is a lot better and it looks a lot better. But the other one is more like whatever that word is toyetic or whatever. Yeah, toyetic. That's more toyetic. Even though that other one looks better, the
yeah,
first one makes a better action figure for some reason.
yeah. And that's exactly why I want to use this one. I mean, you only wear your DCUs during combat. You don't wear them around the states. Now,
And it's weird how the other one is like more toyetic, like I was saying, because that one it looks great.
yeah. So I mean, if I had to release these figures right now, this would be the one that would go. Downside, because we were using a modern day photo, it still showed me with full. Well, you can have a mustache, not biggie, but with full on beard and my hair that's like down to here. So obviously, this would not cut it in terms of U.S. wear of the uniform. Uh, but when I got the original figure, I'm like, you know what? We could kind of compare him to a bearded Corporal Kirchner. So this isn't really an army figure. This is a wrestling type figure. So it's okay to have the beard and the mustache and the long hair. It works. I think it makes the figure look more beautiful. But if I get this redone, yeah, that's something I'm probably gonna end up doing is altering it where I'm showing a younger version of myself with no facial hair, obviously military buzz cut. But among the 4 pieces, I mean, this was a
You'll have
great
to
lookup.
you'll have to Hill in the baby face version.
I don't know. I think this would have made a good grudge match, one-on-one. I think these two work beautifully together. Or, I don't know. Would this have worked out much better? No, I feel like
But
BBA would
funny, they look
actually.
like they'd be working together.
I feel like BBA would actually kill this guy. I think this is the smallest one, maybe. But yeah, we could probably look at the Devil as like a manager type. Like he doesn't have to be a wrestler. So in that terms, fighting pose wouldn't even be a big issue with that. But so obviously we gotta alter it to make them look a little bit more. Well, I can't say realistic because I want it to look like 80s technology and based on the look of the 80s LJNs. So maybe that is very LJN-ish, but obviously we need to make these rubber and slight alterations with fighting pose, slight alteration with color scheme or something. I don't know. I might be biased because it's the line I'm trying to get out there, but I feel like they would sell. If not 500 copies, I think if you were to get 500 each of these made, based on our channel, I think some of our viewers would buy them. I don't think like a lot, but I think we could probably get 20 sales, 50 sales over the course of the first few months. And I think the more our channels grow and grow, bring in more viewers, more fans, more people who might enjoy those particular pieces. And if this is only going to be a one and done series, that's something else. I think a lot of people would buy them just for the sake of the rarity, I think. With all these companies coming out with LJNs and Remcos and Galoobs and Hasbro style figures, due to the fact of these being like around 7 inches or so, what we talked about yesterday, could we say, well, these are more, and it still has to be rubber, of course, but could we call them more in line with original San Francisco? Because nobody is making OSFTM figures. So I think that would be pretty darn amazing. And I'm going to go back and read some of these comments that I've been missing out on. Hey, Smokey, twice. Both times to Iraq. One in 0506 in Baghdad. And in 0809, 15 months. That was in Al Qut province, Fob Delta. So Baghdad was Camp Liberty. But Camp Liberty, they had I think that compound had like 4 different bases on one. So we were on the Camp Liberty side, and shoot, I don't remember what the hell the other camps were called. But I know we used to go to one of those camps like every Saturday because the Haji Marts, they had like all these big Haji Marts up, and I used to go crazy for buying bootleg DVDs. The first deployment, not the second one. All right. Let's see. The Sting does. The Army does. Marines don't. No, I'm talking about wearing BDUs in public. Well, BDUs were, like, I joined the Army in 04, and the battle dress uniform was the first uniform that we wore, the green woodland camouflage uniform. So, again, this style-ish of uniform. But, BDUs that was workwear. That's what you wore around base. That's what you wore around the city or wherever you were going. Or if you had to travel, well, you wouldn't travel in your uniform. That'd be stupid. But that was your work uniform. The only time we ever got the desert camouflage uniforms is if we were getting ready to deploy. So like maybe a month or so before you go on deployment, maybe you drop the DCU or BDUs, and maybe you start wearing your DCUs. But otherwise, these were strictly overseas deployment wear. And when we got the ACUs, to me, this was the stupidest thing ever. The only good thing about the ACUs, man, is it was Velcro. Everything was Velcro. So if you had a unit patch, or if you had a unit patch you wanted to rip off and put on like another combat patch, you slap on that combat patch. Or if you had 4 uniforms but only one patch, you just peel it off one uniform, pop it on the other. But what also made it stupid was down here, the cargo pants, you went from having buttons to having Velcro. So if I'm at the DFAC and I'm loading up on freaking pop or Gatorade or something, you put like 2 cans of pop in your pocket, bam, that pocket is sinking down because the Velcro can't hold the weight. Whereas the buttons will keep that thing up all the time. But yeah. I obviously I fairly expected that I would hate deploying as a contractor, but no, man, like I spent well over 10 years deploying after I got out of the army. And, take money out of it. Just the ability, the freedom to do what you want and have to obey all these military rules. That was awesome. And I don't want to say you can't obey the military rules. That's stupid, right? Wrong choice of words. But like if I get onto a Polaris Ranger or something, military requires that their soldiers wear a helmet or something. You're a contractor. It's like, no, you don't have to do that. It doesn't really apply to you. Now, if you're going on like the big bases, big compound, yeah, you pretty much do. That's pretty much for everybody. So those are the type of rules that still applies to everyone. But like if I'm driving around the SF compound or something, shoot, ain't nobody wearing darn helmets. Let's see. All right. So that is all 4 or 5 if we count the variants of the figures. Do you have a grade that you like for these pieces?
What do you mean a grade?
Like in terms of happiness, like how would you rate the overall designs,
Way
quality of
more
things?
happier after seeing them today than ever. I think the size is good, and they're a lot better than what I was giving them credit for sure.
Yeah, there's I mean, like I said, there are a few things here or there that I would change. Like I don't know, maybe it was just pushed in, but when you look at like the back of the figure here, like I know the resin, they're customs, but it's like somebody took a Greg Valentine, cut off the head, and put Jason's head on, and then they touched up the spots. So that little bump right there, like that's kind of sticks out to me. The little rubber
Uh,
or cement, whatever that is. So
yeah, and
I mean,
I couldn't see that until right now when you pointed it out, but because I don't have it in hand, you know what I mean? So,
that,
but yeah, I see that now. He's the best one.
but like if you look at Greg Valentine, right? It's just clear. It's flat. There's no.
Yeah.
But the body, I would probably ask Jason if he would want to have the body changed out a little bit. That way, it's not 100% Greg Valentine. Hell, they have abs on the picture. Let's put abs on this. I would say, but this right here, because I was reaching out with Alibaba, this is the figure that's given them so much fits that that's really holding up the project of trying to release these as mass quantities. They they can't for whatever reason they don't know what they're doing when it comes to the glasses. Like they don't want the glasses to be sticking out like so. They want me to get with this my customizer, my who is of course in Bodhi, right? To redo the glasses so that instead of sticking out like so, they're just flat onto the face. But no, that's like my favorite part of the figure is the fact that the glasses are kind of sticking out. Now we could go with something like an accessory glasses instead of being molded to the face. Me personally, I like it better when it's molded, but I know you prefer the actual loose accessory. I always say, man, like LJNs,
I
they
don't know
always
if I prefer.
feel
Well, I don't like hats for sure. Some figures it needs to be taken off, and some don't. I think the molded glasses on him are good.
yeah. I like that right there. For hats, like for the LJNs, I don't mind them because they actually fit to the head, perfectly. The Hasbro's, I don't know. As a kid, I lost all the Hasbro accessories, but you never had that issue with Undertaker, right? So that
Yeah,
was
but
always
see, so
nice to have that.
Hasbro's is a way better example than Elgin's. Just in my head, playing with
Yeah,
them, I don't want Akeem's hat on when he wrestles. I don't want fucking Undertaker's hat on when he wrestles. I don't want a lot of stuff on when they wrestle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I'm playing with them as a kid, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I understand that. Shoot. But I feel like I need an accessory for this. Like maybe get like a I don't know, like a Mr. Fuji cane or something, man. Like
I was
I
saying
feel
that
like
earlier. Yeah, it'd be great.
or a walking stick, something. I mean, I
A
could have.
field glass, a cane, a barbed wire bat, or like a barbed wire pool stick, or I don't know.
I, mean, I could be like the. It could be like the devil trident, whatever the hell it's called, pitchfork. But I mean, I think that's too cliche to put down a pitchfork with the devil.
Let's be made like some crazy cool one.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what's going on here.
He's
Finally made
hanging
it.
around there. That's my
Hey, what's
boy
up,
right
Dom?
there. That's my little brother.
Alrighty. Love the
And then
glasses
we
on
got
the board.
someone writing on there. Do you clean them with your tongue?
Shit, that's funny.
Clean your mama with my tongue.
Oh man, that's good comedy though. I like that. Jack in the Box says hi. Mountie shock stick. You know what? For the devil?
Oh, for the devil?
Oh, would a shock stick work for something like this? Maybe.
Maybe. Or something different. A taser, or I don't know, something, his own personality.
Yeah. Man, at this point, now I gotta feel like all of these figures need to have some kind of accessory. Like maybe put like a gun at like an M16 or something to go with this. I don't know. Did we compare all the figures to all the LGNs? Yeah, I think we did. I gotta start drinking my drink, man. My ice is almost melting.
Yeah, Bone Breaker needs accessories. I would love to have a joint in there or a fucking cigarette, all kinds of bullshit like that, you know?
Can't forget about the ice cream cones. Gotta have
Yeah, yeah.
something.
We got Galactic finally made it. Now we got some of our fucking friends making it. God damn it.
But dang, at this point, we're like at the end of the show. The show's pretty much over.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, we're just pretty much just a hangout.
Look, he says a mini Butters Melway too. Bazooka accessory. I like that bazooka accessory. That's fun.
Heck yeah!
Oh, that's
Shoot.
goddamn wrestling bum shadows. Wrestling with bum shadows. I was so surprised to see his fucking face because I always watch his channel. He does Hasbro's. Like I can't even say I do Hasbro's no more, you know. But I love it when I see another Hasbro fig fed thing going on, and then we just saw his face not too long ago. I guess it was on his channel actually. But yeah,
Yeah.
what a surprise to see the man behind Bum Shadows. You
Well,
know what I'm
I also
saying?
love that when Dwayne does his reviews, he's not holding back. He's like, he's like me in the sense, when we talk about the figures, we give our full honest opinion. And a lot of time people are gonna come in and they're gonna bitch about it because, they love, zombie sailors, or maybe they're huge fans of grapplers and gimmicks, which I'm a fan of G&G. But if I get a figure from G&G and it's like straight trash, I'm gonna be like, hey, this one sucks. And like the Harvey Whippleman and who else was it? Lord Alfred Hayes, I think, was part of it. I think Mooney maybe or someone. And it was basically three of the exact same figures. I'm like, I get it. All you gotta do is pop off the head. You don't need to really change anything else because they're hosts and they're commentators, etc. But I would have preferred like three different figures. You don't need to have a commentator the same as a manager in Harvey Whippleman. So like when I did my review for that particular six pieces, I thought at the time it was like some of my least favorite from the line. And oh my god, I got ripped a new ass just because they didn't like I disagreed with them. I'm like, dude, it's an opinion.
Uh,
Everybody has an opinion.
and I like going and seeing different opinions. I'll watch wrestling reviews where they're fucking liking stuff I don't like. I like to hear the other side, you know? Even though I totally disagree with it.
All right. I think one shot today for the viewers. One shot for everybody that's tuned in, for everybody that's left a message. Thank you. Oh, man, that's bad. Oh, not good. That Jack Daniels, wow.
Wrestling with Bum said the hats suck.
Hey, Darama man, shoot. If I'm able to get with Net and see if Ram Treasures can release those figures, here is the issue with going through a third party, though. And I think I already talked about it, but let's say we talk to Net, and she's like, you know what? Hey, I'm fully on board. Let's get these released. I think I've talked to her about this in the past. I let her know, hey, look, if you can release my figure, I will pay for the mold. So let's say she sells them on Etsy, gets her normal $130. Her net pay on that is only like $100. So if she sells 20 or 25 figures, however many molds she can make from that one copy. All right, let's say she sells 20 figures at $100 a piece, 2,000, or let's say 25 at $100 a piece net profit. That's $2,500. If she says, okay, here's $1,000 to reimburse you for the mold you just paid for, that's $1,500 left over, right? I mean, probably good profit for her. She might be happy about that. I really don't think it's any different though than if she just bought the mold herself, because the first $1,000 is just reimbursement to herself and $1,500 profit left over. So even that wouldn't even work from a financial standpoint. That doesn't make sense. And at that time, let's say she's making a bone breaking action figure. Well, a free figure for me, a free figure for you, plus the reimbursement for the mold. You're talking about, let's say, $1,200 or so. And she's doing all the work. She's the painter, she's the artist. So would she accept, $1,300 profit or $1,200 profit for doing 25 figures? And I don't know. I haven't talked to her about it. I haven't gone that deep. So I don't know where she's at. And the biggest issue is that she's a businesswoman. She wants to earn as much money as possible. I want to create these for my viewers. I want to get these figures out there because I think they're that good. At the same time, I also want to look at this as a business opportunity, and I want to earn profit on these figures. So, outside of funding for the molds, what else do I contribute to the selling of these figures? I could talk about them on my channel, advertise that way, advertise on Facebook and Instagram and all that. But is that going to be enough to warrant this business relationship? So maybe if I pay for the first mold, maybe she could create other molds from that first one, and that way maybe that saves her some money. Maybe she's excited about that.
Hey,
Problem is,
I don't really want to hear it, but I guess I already did. I got a lot of stuff to say about all this, man, and hopefully I can articulate it right. So I can't remember who people's names on here and stuff, but somebody said like, I hate to tell you, man, but you're gonna lose your ass. However he said it, do you know what I mean? And I've told you stuff like that before too. You mean like maybe you need to pick different people or do something like that. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah.
and it can, I'd like to say more than that, but like, I'm excited because you're making a fucking bone breaker and stuff. You know what I mean? But I've kept it real and told you some real stuff before. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so you need to think about all that, and then whatever we're doing right now or whatever you're doing, you know what I mean? And then keep in mind, man, that you're just fucking starting, and you maybe you're gonna be forced to take little steps sometimes that you don't want to take or whatever, you mean? Or maybe you just need to stick your toe in the water sometimes and not your whole foot, you know what I mean? Because you don't need to be fucking losing money or you know what I mean? And it's a big dream and it sounds all fantastic, you know what I mean? And it's possible, man, you know what I mean? And but yeah, and then I don't know, think about all that. And then what else? And then another thing I want to say on here, and I wish there was more people watching, but there's a few people watching right now, is what you're doing right now. You're being open about this shit. You want to do you don't want to do pre-orders. You want to do it like all good. You know what I mean? And you're an honest dude, and you're a good dude and you're thinking about your fucking customers and maybe Major Riot Wrestling ain't even a fucking nothing right now, you know what I mean? But you're trying to make it something and you're being honest and you're being straight up with everybody and you're just trying to do a good thing and make a good thing and make a good fucking thing, you know what I mean? And so people should fucking recognize that too. And that's a reason to support you and buy these fucking things and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because this is just the very beginning. What if it grows and grows and grows? You know what I mean? Fucking someone like you that's on here being honest, doing it for the love of the game, like you know what I mean? Fucking that's something. That's a reason to buy Major Riot fucking wrestling action figure right there. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, man! I really appreciate all that, man. That's freaking awesome. Thank you so much. At the end of the day, I think XOX Customs really is the route I might have to take or might want to take because, like I said, it's not going to be something where I feel like it's going to take 6 to 12 months to get done. I think if I go with Net right now and be like, hey, I got a BBA figure I want to get created, I will pay for the mold. I will pay, Kevin Pelkey because he creates all around treasures figures to I don't know if he has to sculpt this or whatnot, but do his diligence and send that print to Net or however she does it, and pay for the mold for her so that that way she's not coming out of pocket. And like I said, if she could create more molds than just one, like if she could create a mold from the mold, she could do that probably 5 times at least. Make 20 figures each time or 25. I mean, that's like what 150 figures for 6 different molds, right? So, but I kind of feel like these two right here, the BBA and the Jason Nupp figure, I think these are the best selling opportunities. Those are the two that I'm most excited about. Those are the two that I would love to be released. So, as far as the Devil, that would be number 3 for me. And the 2 variants, well, I really only have to do the Soldier one time, and buyers could just select whatever uniform that they want on there. It doesn't even have to be Army. If someone's a Marine or an Airman and they want to get an Air Force uniform, that's perfectly fine too. Shoot. That's the fun thing about the military uniform is that it could really be used for any branch and anyone that wants a soldier figure. And if they watch my channel or they support my channel or are fans of my channel, maybe they don't mind the fact that my face is on it. But at the end of the day, I always said the soldier figures you could kind of look at as like the 2 referees from LJN, generic pieces that really don't look like anybody, right? So, I mean, I think they're the Hebner twins. That's how I kind of classify them. But and you know what? There's this one guy. I think his name is Baldwin. I see him on Facebook. I could have the name wrong, but he's always putting like these figure federations together with like LJNs and XOX Customs. And I'm like, you know what? Here is your perfect tag team, man. Come on, these guys would be tag team champions, would never lose.
When I was a kid, I liked Corporal Kirchner. I think I was one of the only ones that liked him.
Which one was that? Like to Corporal Kirchner?
Corporal Kirchner, when I was a kid, when he first came to WWF.
I like any
I thought
of
he was
those.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I pretty much like any of those military wrestlers. So, I mean that's obviously Slaughter will always be number 1 in my eyes, no doubt. But wasn't like John Cena like a Marine before?
No, he's the Marine, the movie.
That's probably what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
The guy from Terminator, not Patrick Harris. Damn, what the hell was his name? But that's the T2 from Terminator 2. I believe he was in that movie as well, if I'm not mistaken. Like I saw that movie a long ass time ago, The Marine.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that was like what 2000. That was in like 2005, 2010, something like that. So that's an older movie. But I knew he was something Marines because I had the Marine in my head for John Cena.
Yeah, it was one of his first movies, probably.
And just trying to go back to these comments here.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, so Dwayne was telling me about the bazooka earlier, and I'm like, you know what? And I had a M249 squad automatic weapon, which is just a machine gun, a fancy name for a machine gun. I probably carried that more during my 2 deployments than I did than I did my M16. So, I mean, have like a big machine gun. Where's it at?
Something that would strap around it would look good.
Maybe not this because I
Or
don't know
just,
how that thing is. I mean, it's a machine gun, but it's not a 249 or anything. It looks like a grenade launcher. That might be what that is. That might be a grenade launcher, but because grenade launchers are you shoot bullets and you have the little canister you open up, you could shoot it. Anyways, not important. So the man behind the bum. uh, the hats suck sometimes. So me and BBA, we obviously differ on this. I like the built-on hats. He prefers something removable. I mean, it's not a necessity. It's never been a necessity. I just like them better because you don't risk losing. I think Mr. Fuji looks better with the built-on LGN hat than he would have if
he's a
he had.
bad use for that work, so
Yeah,
it's his character.
if that was a removable, would I enjoy it as much? Maybe, but how much would a Mr. Fuji go for if you were, just carded, or hell, if you had a loose figure and you're trying to go for the cane, which is like an original cane's like $40. That damn thing breaks so damn easily. So, and then have to pay for a hat as well. Terry Funk with his 2 accessories. I mean, those are like $30, $40, $50 accessories a piece. So, yeah, I'm kind of happy that he had that built on. The hats suck. Yeah, for grapplers. He's talking about grapplers and gimmicks. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Grapplers and gimmicks. Like I love their figures, but they're every single hat accessory, every single one is just sheer 100% garbage. And I'm like, dudes, if you don't know how to create a hat, then just do not have it as a loose accessory. Build it onto the figure or don't include it at all. The Harvey Whippleman hat, it basically sits on this hat like this. His head, you bam, turn your head a little bit or move the figure a little bit, hat goes flying. I'm like, it doesn't work. So I think I feel like there's some people we could reach out to and be like, hey, I don't like this particular piece. Can you make adjustments? And they'll fix it for other figures. But there's some companies out there that just don't take that into consideration. I'm like, you want to keep charging people the prices you are, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to make adjustments. So, Dwayne, 100% agree, bud. I'm pouring up and cheers. Jack Daniels is my favorite. Oh man, that Jack Daniels had me passed out like an hour and 45 minutes into my Saturday live stream. I talked about it on my Monday live stream when I was trying to recap and be like, what the hell happened? Like I was having a full-on articulate conversation just like this, and then just out of nowhere, I just kind of like leaned back. I'm like, what the hell happened? So obviously, I haven't watched the full episode yet, but when I was scrolling through to see where I kind of dozed off, that's exactly what happened. Perfectly fine, talking, articulating my thoughts, and just out of nowhere, just passed out.
I don't do nothing but work and come home. So that was a pretty exciting Saturday night.
I told my wife, man, maybe it was checking on me, make sure I didn't die in my sleep or something. All right, let's see what else we got here. Gotta take a risk, man. Hey, man, I really appreciate it, Dwayne, man. Shoot. Keep going, make it happen. I'm hoping, Rama, man. Shoot. Like I said, it's gonna either boil down to either factory at 25 grand or XOX Customs. There was a guy on eBay I talked about, Lady Lux Leather. He's like net in the sense that they're like the only ones I could think of that actually make rubber LJN figures. I think his is a little bit smaller, just a shade, or a little bit thinner, maybe, in terms of rubber than Elgin than the Ram Treasure figures, but I mean they're almost spot on, almost like 100% identical. So it's not like you're losing a lot. Problem is, he's a customizer, right? And you'd have to pay him for the customization of each figure. If I pay for the mold, he paints them all up. Same problem. I'm going to want to earn some kind of profit off of that, while at the same time getting reimbursed for the initial down payment for the mold. And asking him to paint 20, 25 figures, I just don't think would be manageable for him. He's an individual guy. Yes, that's individual, but
Hey, read that very last comment.
let's see.
I want a Saturday night, Matt.
I want to serenade my figure with a whiskey bottle. Hey, Lance, dude, guys, stop giving me so many ideas. There was one of my commenters that was asking for a Winston Toys eraser. They got Richter, they got Junkyard, they got Hogan and Sheik and Piper. But when you look at Hulk Hogan's Rock and Roll Wrestling, guys like Albano and Andre the Giant, etc., those guys are missing from the lineup. So he was asking, hey, can I create something in the size of basically Winston Toys erasers, little 4, maybe 5-inch figures? And I'm like, hell yeah, that's a brilliant idea. Like, I would love to do that. But I'm also seeing a couple guys on Facebook who are also creating the Hulk Hogan Rock and Roll Wrestling figures. I think they're doing like 8 inches or 6 inches or something. So, I mean, I also think the Hulk Hogan, they created a Hulk Hogan, but it was like their own personal design. So, and I can't stress this enough. I never want to be classified as a customizer. I want to be classified as an original line. But if I go through XOX Customs, they're customs, literally in the name. So I have to determine what's the best course of action. But damn, that little whiskey bottle, man. I don't know if I might have to do 2 pirate characters. That way Dwayne has his figure, and I have my figure. Because that pirate figure that designed, that would have been awesome with an actual like whiskey bottle or something in hand. But the issues continue. You get your figures manufactured, you find a producer to create your figures. How the heck do you go about creating the little accessories now? Does that have to be 3D printed? Like, I have to ask these questions because I honestly have no idea. Like, I've been reaching out to so many people, talking to so many people that are in the business that have the know-how, and that's basically where I'm learning all this stuff from, because I just don't have that type of experience. But man, I would love that. Shoot, to get a little whiskey bottle, have one with my eyes closed. I'm all passed out.
That's a great thing too.
I think that would be more of a statue, like a commemorative statue, than an actual wrestling figure, though, because it would just be like whiskey bottle in hand with a cup in hand, like so, like.
I have to make the whole commentator desk. You'll be the commentator with the whiskey bottle on the table by the monitor.
Yeah, I got to come up with that design now. That sounds fantastic. Let's see your Legion of Dim guy. Hey man, I think you're the same guy that keeps asking about my on my short videos. Somehow I effed up today, and I released 2 episodes, 2 short videos today. Like, today was supposed to be Dark Skin Jimmy Hart, and then tomorrow was supposed to be the Nasty Boys error card figures on my short videos. And somehow the Nasty Boys aired first, and then the Dark Skin Jimmy Hart aired second, but they aired at the same time or something. So now I'm a day behind, and I have to try to film some more short videos. So yes, I think maybe tomorrow, unless I'm too drunk tonight, either tomorrow or the day after, I will have a special shout out video where I show off all of my Legion of Doom figures. So that's definitely possible.
The new 80s revolution popped up.
Hey, what's up, Jason? Hey man, I thought I sent you an invite. I don't know if you have it still on your Facebook Messenger or not. You might be able to pop right in. Got to pick up my dinner around the corner. Hey, Darama, we'll see you in a bit, bud. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Currently collect Elgin style, but we'll be collecting these. Shoot, man, I hope it's comes out to the way that we're liking. But hey, Jason, were you able to connect? If you're not, I mean, it would just be awesome to have you on the screen and we can all talk together. Because I think you know a little bit better than I do, obviously, when it comes to Realm Treasures and how she releases her figures and whatnot. And I think it'd be pretty cool if she actually joined the stream or something, man, and maybe was able to talk about it or so. I think that would be an awesome live stream. Kind of reach out to Net, have her on live stream with me one day, and I'm not gonna do a full shot. I'm only gonna do like a half a shot because I feel like too much, and I'm gonna be out of it.
Hey, look, see Jason up on the bottom?
I had no idea what it was. Sorry, man. Can't drop in right now. Tell BBA I have to go get my kids the COVID vaccine.
All right, so hey, man, I've been wanting to address this, and so now's a good time to address this. Because I was gonna make a video on this and stuff, but New Age '80s revolution, man. So I'm totally against the jab and all that stuff. You did your video. I feel strongly about that. I got a passion about all that conspiracy stuff. You know what I mean? And then I watched your channel a long time ago. I would just watch it here and there, and then the whole game time debacle. And you don't know about all this stuff, so you don't know about the whole game time debacle or whatever. So you did that COVID video. I'm all against that. I fight that kind of stuff on my channel because I'm like a conspiracy theorist, conspiracy truth. But I would like to apologize to you for disliking your video a couple times. And we're brothers now because we're in this little fig fed together and stuff. So I apologize for my actions like that, and you can accept my apology or not. You know what I mean? But I'm against all that jab stuff. But whatever, man. That's all by side, and we like other things and stuff. So my apologies.
Hey, Darama and Jason, got you guys.
And that's just a touch of the thing because there's a lot of other stuff. And I don't even know if you ever recognized that or whatever what was going on in my little world, but I don't know. That's the good gist of it. And yeah, so whatever. And don't ever make fun of that wind up bowling game again. I like that shit. All right. Yeah, he dogged out the little wind up bowling. I can't remember what it's called, man. But those are cool little toys. I got the bowling, I got the golf, I got the basketball and the baseball. They're awesome. But I'm joking about the wind up bowling game. But yeah, whatever.
Man, I just like those freaking jumping videos you make because, especially when you do the slow motion and those guys cry. I don't know why. I'm just gonna throw from them.
Go ahead, Jason. Or go ahead, Watty, man. I didn't mean to interrupt you like that.
No, you're good, man. Strolling, rolling. I like this one right here. Can you rap? Hey, Klepto. It's funny that you say that. Well, honestly, no, I can't. But part of my 2-pack was also going to be an inclusion of myself, obviously, because, it's me, my line, whatever. Well, this is our line, but I also wanted to add Kirk's Corner and have like a sort of public enemy type of look to the characters. So, that could have been part of the series, or at the very least, maybe part of the next series. But one of the things I'm thinking about, what if we're different than everybody else? Now, let's say, this company is creating Eljans, and this company is creating Remcos, this one Hasbro style, whatever. I like Latuni because he's got a bunch of different lines going at the same time. But for me, I kind of want to do that, but I don't want to separate them. Meaning, Series 1 could be like LJN style figures. Series 2, still the same line, same series, but we're moving on to the Hasbro line. Maybe in Series 3, we move on to Galoob line. So you're getting Watty's channel exclusive figures, but you're getting them in different forms. I don't want to have like Like I don't want an LJN and then come back the next series and release the exact same figure in 4 inches in Galoob. I want this to be a completely different figure for Series 2, obviously. Different pose, different paint scheme, something. I think you have that green mask that I really like, so I would probably, hey, if
Yeah,
that,
but
that'd be
variance
something.
is so far away and stuff. But yeah, if there was ever a variant, it would have to be the second match, and that'd be it.
So if you were to come out with a second figure, what would be your fighting pose?
Another fighting pose.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I'd probably just make one up. I don't know. I couldn't really pick an LGN guy. You know what I mean? If I had to pick one right now, I'd say Greg Valentine, but that's like so played out now. You know?
I mean, I keep saying that. I mean, obviously, I gravitate towards the yellow more than the red, but I just grab the red. I think this right here could be like the greatest wrestling action figure ever made. I think this is when if I'm downstairs, I'm goofing off, and I just want to pick up the figures, just be like, whatever, just not really play, just kind of like goof off whatever. Like I always grab SD Jones. I just think he's absolutely perfect. I love the fact that he's got that choke slam. I mean, no matter which arm you go under, right or left, the play pose is absolutely perfect. No, I don't want to answer spam risk. Thank you. So I would probably like a figure to be 100% identical to this. I think he's a little wide, and I'm like, man, I didn't drop all that weight over the last year or so just to be considered a wide guy still. So, I mean, I could still go with something like a Corporal Kirchner. I think this would be a fantastic pose. I mean, obviously, I'd want to raise the arm up different, maybe put SD Jones' left arm on this, but
Kirchner's a
initially,
good pose. I know you dog out Roddy Piper a lot, and I don't mind the Roddy Piper pose for some reason.
and here's the thing, Roddy Piper, I mean, that's basically the same pose, same figure as Outback Jack, who I classify as probably my number 12 favorite LJN figure. And same pose as Jim Duggan. Again, Jim Duggan's like number 15 or something among the LJNs. So, how does this pose suck?
As a kid, he was playable. I could play with him. He'd work. He could throw punches. He could do body slams, suplexes, whatever. I can make it work.
I just like the fact that the other figures, their arms are. Yeah, I hate this.
Like when I was a kid playing with him,
arm-
like Stuka is a terrible play pose.
Oh yeah,
Jake the Snake was a terrible play pose, and it was sad because I was so happy to get Jake the Snake, and then like he kind of sucked, you know.
yeah. Jake Roberts for me is a average to not actually below average to I'd say about a below average figure. Uh, Jimmy Snuka to me is my least favorite LJN. Way too
Yeah, and
small, way
it's
too
so cool
thin.
as a kid. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna get Jake the Snake LGN. This is so great. And then you got him, and he kind of sucked. Coco Beware sucked like that too. Besides ring gear, his pose sucked. Oh yeah, his hands were all stupid. That's
Yeah.
one of the worst ones ever.
But you could still kind of pretend that they're closed fists and throw punches. So it was still a workable figure. And because of the jacket design, it just made it that much better. So Coco Beware, he's among my favorites, but he's got to be in like the 30 something range. So maybe 40 something. So he's a great, to me, I think he's a great figure, but he's just not perfect.
See,
I
and
mean,
then that's where we differ too, because with the LGNs, I don't want I want the in ring. You know what I mean? I don't want Ted DiBiase in a suit. I don't want the Coco Beware jacket. I don't want the Hunk Tonk Man fucking jumpsuit. You know?
and I still say, man, that the outfit is what makes the figure because where is he at? Dang it. I love this figure. I think it's a perfect playable figure. Everything about this, both arms, great. Barry Windham, Galoob, same thing, right? Harlem Heat from original San Francisco, etc. They're playable figures. But this black trunks with black boots, there's nothing else going on with the figure. So to me, it's very plain, very simple. Some customizers, they put like in yellow the hammer on the back to make it look like Hasbro. And they might even build on like the knee pads or something, but or not knee pads, the little braces. So yeah, that adds a little bit more to the figure, but I don't like that. I think that's way too little bit of detail. I love this figure because there is a lot of detail that goes into this figure throughout. So this is, an awesome piece to me. But Greg Valentine, no doubt, one of the best LJNs, period. But from a playable standpoint, especially, but from a design standpoint, it's just very plain. So when I look at Ted DiBiase, doesn't have the best pose, but his outfit gives you that extra detail. I love that. Same thing with Honky Tonk Man. I think he's got a good play pose, not the best, but adequate. The whole Elvis jumpsuit, I think it works. But Ram Treasures, they came out with their own version, and I knew they would eventually, but they came
Yeah,
out with
I,
their own.
I like that. I like
I,
it.
I think that for Ram Treasures, the Honky Tonk Man, probably has to be in their top 30 best figures. So it's an awesome piece. Love it. All right. Let's see what we got down here. I can rap if you're looking. The Vince McMahon pose is good. Well, Vince is. Here's the thing. I always complain about Ron Simmons, right? Because Ron Simmons is a figure I had as a kid, and I despise. I always thought that was like the worst action figure ever. And then Random Treasures made their Ron Simmons Galoop 2 up. And once you got it in rubber form, got it in much larger size, still not the best play figure ever, but I mean, it works. It was fine as a rubber LJN. But as a smaller Galoob, one of the worst figures ever. But Vince McMahon, this is just Vince McMahon, right? One finger up.
But for just an announcer, it works.
I mean, of course. But
What if
again,
me and Gene had? What if me and Gene had that Vince pose? That he'd be probably a lot better, actually.
yeah, isn't that what Howard Finkel had with LJ with no, she didn't. She had the hands out. I was thinking about the Howard Finkel from Ram Treasures, but it wasn't the same. Here's the Rick Rude. Yes, once upon a time, I said Rick Rude was the worst LGN. I said Rick Rude was potentially the worst action figure ever made because he's just basically a standing straight up figure, no play pose whatsoever. I mean, hands on the waist. What the heck were they thinking? The reason I stopped classifying Rick Rude as my all-time favorite or all-time least favorite LJN, the color scheme. I love the design of the pants, and that right there was enough of the figure to make it better than Jimmy Snook on my eyes. That and I think the fact that it's a Series 6 and it's worth more money. That I mean, it shouldn't play a role in my thinking, but it does. So Jimmy Snook is a $5 figure, and freaking Rick Rude's like a $200 to $250 figure. So, but I like the fact that he's taller, wider, and I like his color scheme. So I'd probably put Rick Rude, LJN, number 2, number 3, maybe. Do you think they tried to match poses with the wrestler's persona or wrestling style? Hope that makes sense. Yeah, it does. Like when Net from Ram Treasures, she came out with a Ivan Putski, and the figure's Polish power up, whatever. I don't know what you would call it, but um, it fits the wrestler beautifully, right? And when I looked at that figure, I'm like, this figure has so much potential because it was an overall good quality figure. I like the rubber. I think the head sculpt was incredible, and the hands down. Like if they opened it up, the hands a little bit wider, raised them up some, I thought that figure could have had potential to be so amazing. But because his hands were down, inward touching, like that could just didn't do it for me. When I look at figures like Hercules from LJN or its replica, which is Mike Sharp for XOX Customs, it's just not enough for those figures. It just doesn't do enough for me. At least Hercules has the Roman soldier look to it, which looks fantastic. But for like Mike Sharp, again, Mike Sharp is a black boots and black trunks character, so it just not enough on it to make it any more sensational. But what does that do?
I'm an old man, and so when I was a kid, Hercules was on TV just a few times, and then that action figure came out with the leather stuff, and then so he was on TV like 5 times or something like that, and then he was off TV for a long time, and then the action figure came out, and then when he came back as just Hercules in trunks without all that, and he probably got a haircut too. So it was so weird because it's a cool figure and it was still Hercules. But as a kid and growing up in that time, it was like, oh, it's weird that Hercules has this shit on and has a long hair still because that's not what he even looks like anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my Hercules was always in black trunks or blue trunks or something.
Mhm.
So that's not, I didn't even know about this Roman soldier
Yeah,
until I started collecting wine.
he wasn't like that very long at all. At all. I remember seeing him like with Bobby Heenan one time and on Piper Pit one time like that, and that's all I even remember like that. It's weird how
Crazy.
that worked out, you know.
Yeah, I think that's a very easy figure. Like if I was creating, and here's what a mod from Latuni basically put in my head, and it got me thinking. This right here, very easy to mold to a card, or put the little fitted bubble around it because of the respective pose. So when you look at Sting from Galoob, hand straight up, or Macho Man, right? Like so, those are easy poses. Ken Patera is an easy pose, but if you were to take a Hulk Hogan and try to build a bubble around this with the way that the arms are kind of sticking out, very hard to have a fitted bubble around a figure like this. So it kind of got me an understanding and appreciation as to why a lot of creators why they select certain poses. But me, I got to have something like this. To me, it's got to be mandatory. This is makes it a serviceable figure for kids, and even for adult collectors. They're not going to be around forever. I mean, they're probably going to donate it to their kids or grandkids at some point. So, shoot, I want it to be enjoyable. And let me go back to these messages here. Do you think they? Oh, I read that one already. I meant announcer style, but I see what you mean. I hate the Ron Simmons Galoob. Yeah, so, and like I was saying, man, I kind of feel like I really love the Vince McMahon LGN, but I didn't like the Ron Simmons Galoob until Net double sized it and made it a little bit more appealing to me. But even though he's got the fused hand to the chest, again, like you said, he's an announcer, right? Commentator type. So that was fine. He wasn't expected to be a wrestler. Referees, they're not expected to be wrestlers, but they also got like one of the best play poses in the line. And at least with that one hand up, you could still do body slams and stuff like that. So he was still serviceable if you wanted to make him late '90s Vince McMahon as a wrestler.
When I was a kid, Vince McMahon. When I was a kid, and all these LGNs, like when Vince McMahon first came out on LGN, as a kid growing up at the time, it was like you didn't really care about Vince because it was like you're just like, man, I wish we would made another wrestler instead of this guy or whatever, because we didn't know what Vince was back then. I remember Vince McMahon, Bruno Sammartino, and Classy Freddie Blassie were like the peg warmers of the early '80s and stuff.
Mm. And it's funny, I love the Freddie Blassie figure
It's
because
good.
Freddie Blassie is just SD Jones, slimmed down. But I mean, he's a decent looking figure, great fighting pose. And he comes with a cane accessory, so I'm like, Freddie Blassie was worth it. And when I started collecting the carded LJNs, oh my god, like it doesn't matter what the card was, if it came with an accessory, those son of a guns were selling for like $400 or $500 plus each. And nowadays, you probably get those on card for like probably $200 or less from time to time, depending on seller. And so it's really infuriating. But
It's cool that you got all the posters and stuff too. And then my boy over here, I can't find his comment, but he was talking about the bendies. Watty over here has like every fucking bendy, and it's in the package is fucking awesome. And do you have the bendy ring too, or what?
no, I don't have the Bendy's ring. That's one thing I really want. There's a guy on either Facebook or eBay, probably both, probably same guy, that's selling the ring with box, but he wants like $500. And if it was like
Oh,
two seventy five, I'd probably go for $500 for that.
that's one of the coolest wrestling rings in all the action figure lines. I always want to ask you too. Do you have Jake the Snake, Damien, the Hasbro? The Hasbro one,
Yeah,
and it's Jake the Snake in the bag. Do you have that?
snake in the back. What for? Oh no, I know what you're talking about. No, I don't have that one. Yeah, I've seen. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, just Damien in a bag, in a box, in a Hasbro style box.
Not the big box. No, just I mean, when you mentioned Jake Roberts, I thought you were talking about Hasbro Series 1.
Uh,
I mean, I got those all carded. I'm just looking at my live. It says you are live on the screen, and then it went back from 0, and it's counting back up.
you blacked out for like just 2 seconds at one point, not long
Uh,
ago.
so I don't know if this is gonna be considered 2 live streams or not, or hopefully it's only 1,
Oh,
but
or maybe it's off and we're just talking. And we're not on nowhere. No, that's not true. It says live over here. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, have you ever seen the Hasbro little toy pinball game? Do you know about that?
shoot, I don't think so, but it sounds familiar, like it's something I would have had as a kid, but I
Yeah,
don't off the top of my head, I don't think I've seen that.
I don't know. That's pretty cool. That'd be awesome to have.
Yeah, so let's see what here. I like the Lou Albano because it looked like how my grandfather looked at that time.
Lou Albano
Uh,
is awesome, and that's an awesome figure. Just because it's Lou Albano, you know. Lou
yeah.
Albano was pretty cool back in the day.
So I don't think I remembered Lou Albano from wrestling myself. It's funny. Like in Chicago, we had 3 major theme parks, and we had Kittyland, we had Santa's Village, and we had Six Flags Great America. And I keep calling it Kittyland. It wasn't Kittyland. It was Great America that had the old man dancing to like the Venga Boys or something. But when you think Kittyland, girls just want to have fun was like this was the music to that commercial. And every time you'd be sitting down like watching Bozo the Clown and oh, we just ducked out again. Hopefully
I
the
don't think
video
it
still
says you live. Maybe it went in and out.
yeah, I just saw that right there.
I
But
don't
it's still
know.
counting up, so hopefully we're good. Uh, luckily, man, we're like what 10 minutes away, and then I gotta probably hang up anyways because I gotta
I
go
don't
feed the
do
babies.
that myself, man. I think we were
Yeah,
on here longer than we thought we were going to be on here for.
I mean, I estimate between 1 to 2 hours. So I mean, it's been a fun ass live stream. So I gotta do this more often. I do want to answer Mike's question though. He says, "I wish they made the Bendy's line a bit bigger, a hybrid version of the OG LJNs." So there are a few LJNs like a no, the series 2 was made. I'm trying to think. There was something planned. Was it Blackstrap Andre? Maybe the Heart Foundation? Because I've seen customizers create Blackstrap Andre. I've seen them create Heart Foundation. I've seen them create, I believe, Legion of Doom. Actual like LJN sized, bendies or thumb wrestlers. They make both. And I'm like, that stuff's incredible. But like I don't want to shell out 75 to $100 for a custom Big Boss Man bendy or Big Boss Man thumb wrestler. It looks incredible. I would love to add it to the collection, but it's not going to hold value to anyone other than yourself. But yeah, seeing like Black Shop Andre and Boss Man and Warlord in bendy form or thumb wrestler form, I think that would be fantastic. But if I did that, like I said, I'd have to make them legitimate customs, like go through the factory, have them created as customs. I couldn't do it because I don't know how to reach out to those families to be like, hey, uh, Mr. or Mrs. Trailer, hey, can I create a big boss man figure based on your son or your husband or whatever? And kind of you go branch off of that. I would love everything to be legalized, everything to be where it's at where funds are going back to the family, but I just don't know. I just don't. I'm not in the market. I'm not in that know-how.
Not
But
yet.
I mean, damn. Like I would think the same thing I'm doing with everybody else. Like kind of reaching out to find out like how to manufacture these figures. I think I would just basically do the same. Like scroll through Facebook and see if I can find these names, or go through Google try and find out who the contact are. And if I have to go to a show somewhere to meet them, that might
I
be an
need
option.
I need to get off my ass and track down the Tourette's guy for you.
Go, go, go. I'm trying to see if there's any questions here. Captain Lou is a perfect Mario. Oh man, yeah. I was watching an episode yesterday, and It was Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Maybe it was on like Kirk's channel or something, but I was watching Punch Out. I'm looking at the referee. I'm like, what the hell is Mario doing in Punch Out? You know how many times in my life I played Punch Out, and I never really made that comparison that the referee looked just like Mario. I'm like, that's insane.
I bet you I've sent you this link before and had you watched it, but I'm gonna tell everybody that's watching this shit to go look up Don Morocco and eating a meatball sub while he's wrestling, and he's Morocco's eating that meatball sub while he's wrestling some jobber, and then a meatball falls out of the sub and lands on the stairs, and then Captain Lou's walking down the stairs, he slips on a meatball, and it's awesome. So everybody can go look that up on YouTube. It's great. Have I
That
said
is
I've
the
said
funniest
that
thing ever.
before? Watty, ain't it?
That's the funniest thing ever. I love that. Oh man. What was that last question though, man? Shoot. Oh man. I'm Yeah, I already think that darn whiskey's starting to kick in. So in a few minutes, I'm definitely gonna have to hop off. But I do want to answer all these questions beforehand. Um, who's your favorite wrestler? Hey Ross. I mean, Hulk Hogan will always be my number one favorite. Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man. I would say fills out the top three. That's always been 100%. That's never gonna change. I'd say Bret Hart and Undertaker fills out the top five. But when you move on, I mean, I think British Bulldog is probably number six. Maybe Roddy Piper at seven. Maybe Million Dollar Man at eight. Boss Man at nine. Number 10, I don't know who I would put number 10. Like, I kind of leave that blank because too many options to choose from. But for the sake of argument, let's say someone like Earthquake could be number 10. But yeah, Hogan will always be my number one favorite. Hey, so it looks like Diorama definitely wants us to do another live stream together. So, hey, man, I want to make this like a weekly thing if we can. Shoot.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wednesday's my day off, and I always do that. We could probably talk about horror movies and shit. I think that'd
Hell
be
yeah.
good. We
Hell
both
yeah.
like them a lot. I was thinking that earlier,
Hey, it
or
doesn't
talk
have
about
to be.
whatever. But
I mean, absolutely. Like this video here, it was designed strictly for the reviews and discussions. But I mean, it doesn't have to be wrestling related. Like wrestling doesn't even have to come up not even one single time in a live stream. It just, you know what, I want it for this particular video. But hell yeah, I mean, if you're open for like weekly live streams, knock out an hour or so, hour to 2 hours, like I'd be up for that. Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. You just get a hold of me anytime. I was gonna say too for everybody that watches the shit now or before, put in the comments what you really think about those action figures. Like I'd say if they suck and you say they suck balls, then write they suck balls. Write what you like. Tell us what you think about them honestly. Right?
Absolutely.
It's your business,
Absolutely.
but I'm sure you agree, right? If they're good, say they're good. If they suck, don't be nice and say they suck. Say whatever, or say whatever your input is. I'm sure
Yeah.
to be here.
Any upgrades that we didn't miss or any upgrades that we missed, but you guys see something that you think you would like to see a difference in,
Go buy a
shoot,
bone breaker. Buy your mom a bone breaker. Buy your kids a bone breaker. Buy your girlfriend a bone breaker. Christmas is coming. Stock up on those goddamn bone breakers.
that's exactly what my mom did, man. Like in childhood, any action figure she bought for my older brother, she bought for me, she bought for my younger brother. I'm like, okay, it's nice to have this figure, but like if you buy three of these, can you like buy three different items so that we could share those and not have all the same item? So I kind of feel like my mom was wasting money growing up, but when she had like three boys, not including our oldest brother, obviously, who was uh who was already probably like late teens, early 20s when we were growing up. So, but something like this, you can get multiple variants. You can get multiple variants of a BBA. The Devil, we can make multiple variants. I don't think Jason really wants to change up his figure any. Like, I guess if somebody bought this, they could request their own paint scheme, but I think it's perfectly it's perfectly fine. It fits beautifully with the LJNs based on the way it's set up. So I'm liking that one. So my wife has already let me know that it's time to feed the babies. So I am gonna have to jump off. But I just want to shoot through really quick, just so I don't miss anybody's comments. Lance says we love dark skinned Jimmy. My original San Francisco video this morning, hell yeah, that was a freaking classic. I really want the card for that, but it's like massively expensive. Chris
Is
Nathan.
he dark skinned on the card too, or what?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, really? I gotta look.
When you
I'll have to Google that. That's awesome.
yeah, when you look at the picture on the card, he doesn't look like he's white. He looks like he's dark. So I can
Yeah.
understand the confusion at the factory, but there weren't a lot of those released before they swapped it up. Uh, Chris Nation, is it true that you're not fighting Professor Gaylord no more?
What's that?
He says, "Is it true you're not fighting Professor Gaylord no more?"
No, I'm gonna leave him alone for a while.
Lance, Jason's in the cave having an LGN Fig House show. That's awesome. I need to freaking tune into that now and see what's up.
Hey,
I could
I
live
always
stream
want to start
keypad.
with you, man. I know you got dreams of a toy store and shit, and then you
Yeah.
talk about like displaying your shit. No, I don't think you do have dreams of a toy store. I don't know, but you talk about displaying your shit. Maybe you did talk about a toy store a couple times actually, but I mean, what if you did that one day? You could get a toy store. You're already selling all your shit like you do. You know what I mean? Get you a
Yeah.
store, and you could keep all your shit in there, and then you could have your little. Because you want other people to see your awesome collection. If you had it in a toy store, that'd be awesome. It'd be combining the two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, man. Um, yeah, I got some messages from the wife, so she is calling me
Yeah,
downstairs.
dude. I got my baby too. Like that's funny. Like you always got the cats, and I got the butter dog.
Cool, cool. So L, yeah, man. Mondays, Wednesdays, I'm definitely gonna be on live, and Saturdays will still be normal time frame. I'm just gonna shoot through these messages real quick. So Ross is up for horror movies, which is great. Likes the ideas, awesome. We want the whiskey and Matt figure with live whiskey bottle. Lance, that's like my favorite idea of the night, man.
Yeah, the Saturday Night Watty.
Yep. But we gotta try and make one where I'm passed the heck out because I don't know. That'd be like I said, it's gotta be more of a statue than anything else. Um,
Yeah, some little kittens in a basket as an accessory.
um, I think it was mentioned, and I appreciate that I'm honest. They look I'm awesome. Not even yeah, so Dwayne, like he's really good at giving honest feedback during his reviews, and it's like one of my favorite channels to tune into for those reviews. So anybody that's watching, obviously, check out Wrestling with Bum Shadows. Check him out on either Facebook or YouTube. And I watch those videos on both actually, but that's okay. And the wife is giving me the "it's time to feed the babies" look, so I'm gonna be tuning out here, guys. As always, everyone, thank you so much for tuning into the live stream. Please check out BBA. Damn, guys, if you are subscribed to me, please subscribe to BBA as well. Let's get this man monetized as quickly as possible if we can. So,
All right,
hey,
man. I better go get my fucking baby too, my stuff, man.
all right, cool, cool, cool. Now I
I'm
just
so
got to
old. I
figure out.
can't stand up. All right.
Now I just got to figure out how to exit this live stream because I'm
Yeah, I'm
looking at
gonna
a bunch.
exit right now, man. Thank you for everything, man. I'll see you next time.
All right, awesome. Take care, guys.